Greeting, friend! How are you doing today? I have few questions for you today. First question. What was your childhood dream? What did you want to become when you were a kid? Some people want to become astronauts. Some people want to become doctors or something else. Second question. Do you know the percentage of people who actually live their childhood dream at some point in life, at least? If they might change occupations later, but the percentage of people who actually achieve their childhood dream. And studies shows that only about 6 to 10%, closer to the 6% of people actually live their childhood dream. In other words, that most people don't live their childhood dream. So if you said, well, my childhood dream was this, and then now you're not living that childhood dream, that's quite okay. You fit in the 92 to 94% of people. The third question. Do you know the percentage of people who are not living their childhood dream who regret that they did not pursue their childhood dream? Studies show that more than 60% of people, of adults, regrets not pursuing their childhood dream. Now, we're not here to say so you can look back and live in regret, but whether you live your childhood dream, whether you become what it is that you would love when you were a child, or you don't, it's never a good thing to be living in regret, isn't it? And there are another studies that shows that 90% of people that who at the end of their time, more than 90% of elderly who are at the end of their time regret things that they did not do, things that they dream of doing and then they didn't do, much more than things that they actually do. So what is your dream? What is your dream? If you can do and be anything that you would love, and perhaps you're already living your childhood dream, and even so, if you are living your childhood dream, let's say you said you want to become a doctor and you are a doctor now, then is there any other thing that you say, if only everything is perfect, I would love to do this. If only this and that is perfect, then I would love to do that. And remembering that more than 90% of elderly at the end of their time says that they wish they've done things they wanted to do, then we don't want to have regret. It's not a fun thing to have regret. And so what are some of the things that you would love to do? What are some of the dream that you would love? And some of us growing up thought to become very realistic. Have you ever have this as you grow up when people says, be realistic. Even now, perhaps when you think about something, you might tell yourself, be realistic. Don't be a dreamer. It's not good to be a dreamer because, hey, being a dreamer is not realistic. It's not practical, right? And at the same time, Brian Tracy, a very well known and very successful speaker and researchers of humans development and human and potential and success, and as well as a very well known author. I think he has about 80 books now. Brian Tracy says all successful men and women are dreamers. They imagine what their future could be ideal in every aspect, and then they work every day toward their distant visions, that goal or purpose. So, and actually, if you really look at studies of different people, that is very true that people who are successful start out with dreamer, because otherwise, if you don't dream about something, even if you say, well, I'd like to be practical. Think about this. If you are in a condition or a situation, I was speaking with somebody today, and actually this person's now says, well, I recently she recently got married, and she recently has a child, and she said, well, actually, I now that I have a child, I'm looking again and looking at what it is that I'm doing, and then thinking about my child and what's the future of my child, and wonder in which way could I change what I'm doing. And now, for some of us, that might just say it's about thinking, but that's actually dreaming. If you really think about that, the person's kind of she simulate in her mind, and I said, well, what would you love? Would you love to be able to work from home and be there for your kid, be present? And she lit up, and she said, oh yeah, that will be so awesome. That will be so awesome. So what dream might you have? What dream might you have? And that's perhaps, as of another client of mine, his dream was to be able to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. It's not, he loved his job. He actually truly is doing what he loved to do when he was growing up. He dreamed of becoming a very successful business person, and he's a very successful business person. And at some point, well, that was struck him, he wouldn't be able to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Which is awesome for him. And so as time goes by, it's like, I got so busy and this and that. And thankfully for him, he decided that, that dream is something that's going to come to reality. It involves him getting a personal trainer, losing significant amount of weight, get a lot of training, and on and on and on and on. But he actually achieved his dream and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. This was a few years back. So knowing that more than 80% of people regret that they don't do what they dream, what is your dream might be? Even if you are super successful in life, what is one thing that when you kind of allow yourself to get quiet, when you allow yourself to just say, I'm allowing myself to relax a little bit, what is it one thing that you would still love to do? If I said, here's a magic wand for you, and you can do and be and have whatever you would love, what is it? What's the answer of that? And sometimes it might be changing in your occupation, but sometimes it's a matter of, hey, I want to be able to go visit this place, or I want to be able to write a book. And it's good to be a dreamer. Many times we are told to not be a dreamer, but as Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich, which is seemingly a very practical book. If you ever read Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich, it's like, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do, how to become successful, this is organized planning, and on and on. I've been studying Napoleon Hill very closely and for the last many months, and so seems to be a very directive book. But Napoleon Hill says dreams are seedlings of reality. So I invite you today, right now, here where I am is in the evening. As you go to bed today, just allow yourself the gift. Just allow yourself the gift of saying, if everything is possible, and since life is so unpredictable, as we might all see, what is one thing, even if I'm super successful right now, is there something still that I would love to do? And then give yourself to be the less than 10% of people, particularly if you're already successful. Give yourself to be the less than 10% of people that at the end of your day, and we never know when that the end of your day or my day going to be, that you did not regret things you did not do. which is many people regret things they didn't do, not things that they've done. And so please feel welcome to share in the comment below if you'd like to. What is it that you would really, if you have the magic wand, that one thing or two things that you would still love to do? What is it, one or two things that you would still love to do? Perhaps you have a bucket list. Perhaps you have a bucket list that you say, looking back, I really want to check out this bucket list. I met somebody who is in his 70s. He's in his 70s the other day, and he was talking about something, and he said, I really, at the end of the day, I really still want to do skydiving. And I said, well, why don't you? Why don't you? He said, well, I'm like, there's plenty of places to do skydiving, and I actually invite this person, if he need a companion to do skydiving, it's like, you can come to California, to Los Angeles area, I'll skydive with you, because I've skydived many times, which was actually one of my bucket lists back in the day of the day in the past. And so I did skydiving actually more than once. And so what is it that you would love? Feel welcome to share it in the comment below if you'd like to, but allow yourself the gift of peace of mind, the gift of peace of mind, of being able to say, this thing's been calling me, and I'm going to be that less than 10% of people who says, whenever that your end of time is, that yes, I did it. I give myself that. And if you have family, if you have children, if you have grandchildren, you give them the gift of the courage of doing things that calls you, that the gift of example of doing things that give you life, the gift of example of taking action toward what it is that you would love. And feel welcome to share in the comment below if there is a dream perhaps in the past that you have, and you now because of whatever it is, perhaps after listening to this, you decided that you're going to reignite that dream. Because truly, actually, you know that dream never dies. Dream never really dies. If it is a true dream that called you, just like this person who are in his 70s, his dream of skydiving, he said he has been wanting to do that since he was in his 20s, and for whatever reason, he hasn't done that, and he's his mid-70s now. And so dream never really dies. So see if that's something that will make you feel alive, and allow it to come to surface. And you never know, you might just actually be able to do it a whole lot easier than you might initially thought it would be. And feel welcome to share your feedback in the comment below. Feel welcome to share this video if with anyone that you'd love to, if you like to. And this is Bridget with Joyful Riches Beyond Grief, and I see that as you allow yourself the gift of embracing and exploring your dream, and the gift of peace of mind for doing what it is that your heart's still calling you to do, even if you're successful in every other aspect otherwise, that you feel even more joy, more ease, more fun, more living in a more abundance of riches of everything, not just money, but riches of senses, riches of joy, riches of love, riches of enjoyment, riches of living your life and creating a beautiful, wonderful, thriving life one day at a time, and a magnificent, beautifully rich, thriving life as a whole. And I love you very, very much, and I look forward to see you again very, very soon.